Hello everyone. First of all, this is a New Year series, and we're excited to bring you new content. And we have our co-host Lavpreet Kaur with us again. And this time it's going to be a very new episode because we have not talked about this ever so far in CD Baat. So this time it's about food. Who does not love food? Especially those in Hyderabad will love food, and in Punjab and everywhere else in India, food is something we can't live without. And of course, there's a lot of things. It's not just food, but the way how food is made and how what there's a lot of things. If you go to a restaurant, you always try to check out how are they making this, what is the specialty in this look in this city, what is the best, why is Hyderabadi biryani famous, and why do we have fights over Hyderabadi biryani versus Lucknow biryani? A lot of these things.
Yeah.
So this time we have a very interesting guest. He's Mr. Lokendra Jain. He's a food blogger, and he's a if one is a food blogger, definitely going to be big time foodie like all of us. So Lokendra ji, welcome to you this hangout. So we'll be talking about a lot of things, and we are excited for that. So Lokendra Jain is a he's not just a food blogger, but he's also a IT professional, and he balances his time between his work and food. Now, food and work balance is a very difficult thing because life and work balance is a different ball game, but food and this thing is going to be a different thing in altogether. So over to you for your introductory remark. You can just talk about your journey so far as a how you got into this. What made you start writing about food and how that journey. You can just talk about that, and then we'll head on to the next section. Over to you.
Sure. Before I commence, I would like to thank Mr. Pawan and Lafpreet for giving an opportunity and considering me to be part of that podcast. It's indeed a matter of pride for me, and it's also helping me to overcome my inhibitions. So
Just a second.
I believe everyone is a foodie and more influenced when it comes to food. Hi guys. Before I commence, I would like to thank Pawan and Lovepreet for giving me an opportunity and considering me to be part of this lovely podcast. And how to begin? So I think everyone, each one of us is foodie in their own way, isn't it? So, so being born in a Marwadi family, and that too in a joint family, uh, the only discussion what we have in our home. Hello,
We can hear you, Lokendraji. We have muted
Yeah, you can
ourselves.
go on. You can go on.
That
are
we
you able
can
to
hear.
hear me?
Yes, yes, we are able
I
to hear
think
you.
it freeze for a moment. Sorry.
Okay, no
Yeah,
worries.
go on. Go on. You can go
We'll
on.
keep ourselves unmuted. Don't worry. You can continue.
One second. Huh? So, like being part of a large Marwadi family, the only discussion what we have in our home, right from waking up and before we sleep, is all about food. So, like every discussion is centered about food. Uh, right from my childhood, my mother, just like all other mothers, is a great cook. And then she used to cook all kinds of yummy dishes and always used to experiment with her culinary skills.
Wow.
She's like so passionate about food that even all the masalas, for example, the chai masala, sambar masala, karam podi, even the haldi and mirchi powder is also processed at our home.
Wow.
Yeah, and then to top on that, I think I got my foodie genes from my father, and he himself is a great foodie.
Wow.
He, so even during those times when there was no Google, no Zomato, he somehow used to know what are the new places in the town. And being vegetarian, and since we know that there is already a lot of scarcity of veg restaurants in Hyderabad, he used to somehow had information about each and every place. And then he used to make a point that uh, at least once in 2 weeks we go out and then have a hearty meal.
Amazing, amazing. That's so, I mean, I just want to be in your family for some reason. You're actually born with the foodie spoon.
That I never thought of such a catchy line.
Well, that's so much fun. So, Lokendraji, how did this happen? Although your family always provided you this impetus to, try out new dishes, and there was always this glamorous mood in your family regarding food. We can pretty much make an estimate why you have so much love for food. But how do you manage your proper full-fledged IT profession with tasting food from different places and your journey? We'll get to know about your journey though. But how do you manage this?
See, it's like uh, if you like if you like doing something, then automatically you will take out time for that.
Yeah.
Everyone has got 24 hours in a day, and then we spend those hours depending upon the passion and depending upon and then spending over the things what we love doing.
Amazing, amazing.
So when I joined my IT job, the whole journey of my blogging uh, is like kind of interesting story. So it was my first ever visit to a bar, and that too after joining my job after a period of 2 years. It so happened that one of my colleague wanted to throw us a party, and then he took to a bar which is a very famous one in like Gachibowli, and I believe each and every IT person would definitely been to that bar once in his lifetime.
Okay.
So my experience was kind of a mysterious one. I mean the moment I stepped inside it, the first thing what I noticed was that it was very dimly lit.
Okay.
There was no proper lighting,
Okay.
and the entire bar and restaurant wore a kind of dark look.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second thing which actually took me by the surprise was that we have to settle our bill first
Okay.
before the food arrives to our table. So
Oh.
before you make the payment of the food, yeah.
How
So
does that make sense
it
in a
was like
bar?
that's what I mean. Unlike if you go to any other place,
Yeah.
then it's like you will like order the food,
Yeah.
enjoy the meal, and then before leaving you will do the payment. This place outrageously asked us to pay the bill first, and I was assumed, and I was amused. So being like out of curiosity, I ended up asking the waiter, कि ऐसा क्यों है? Then the waiter in his typical Telugu tone replied to me that भैया यहाँ पे ऐसा ही रहता, लोग पीने के बाद में फिर पैसे देते नहीं, तमाशा करते, so our management had decided to like
Okay.
to like settle the bill first,
Oh,
and then
That is
it was a
actually
nice
very
experience.
ingenious. That is very interesting, ingenious.
oh, that is genius. But I don't know how do they. I mean, how do you count? How much are you going to, I mean,
That's what.
That's a good question, Lovepreet.
You got
We
my
have to
point.
let the
to
managers
what
answer.
extent are you going to be high after leaving while leaving this bar? You can't estimate that beforehand, right? But for IT professionals,
How
it might be possible.
No, not at all. We are just like any other, any other professional.
Amazing, amazing.
And then when I came back, I was like, I should record this experience somewhere. And then the only medium at that time during 2014 was Zomato. So that was my first ever review.
Amazing.
And then I found it to be interesting. I always wanted to write and express myself.
Okay.
And this gave me a very good opportunity. And after this, I like continued writing. So every restaurant, whichever I used to visit, I used to click pictures and then start writing about it.
Wow.
Then it was like less than 10 reviews. And then I came to know that Zomato conducts a Zomato meetup every month.
Okay.
And that was a kind of matter of pride for the Zomato reviewers to be invited to that Zomato parties.
Wow.
So for me, that became one of the motivation factor.
Amazing.
And then before that itself, when I was in my 10th or 12th review, Zomato sent me few goodies to my home.
Oh.
I was so damn excited at that site, and then I started writing more and more. So it was hardly that I was in my 20th or 25th review.
I again got one more package from Zomato again, and again, like after writing down more 10 reviews or so, I received the finally I received the invite to the Zomato party,
Wow.
and then I was on cloud nine, to be honest,
Of
just
course,
out of college,
for a
in a new
foodie.
job,
Yeah.
and then this kind of flashy things happens in your life which you never expected.
God.
So you can imagine the amount of excitement
Yeah.
I've been through in that.
I think all of us,
And then
yeah. I'll just add
yeah,
something
please
here.
please go ahead.
I think all of us, when we were young, especially those who absolutely love food and travel, because food and travel again is something which goes hand in hand, sort of. If you love experimenting with food, you got to travel a little bit, right? So I used to be fascinated by those people who used to do these shows on TV, on Food Channel, on Discovery, on whatever,
Yes.
thinking that these guys get to travel, then to eat in different places, and they get paid for it. This is the best job. Somebody
How
please
cool
get
it
me
is.
this job. I need this job in life because this is the best job ever. you, you get to do everything and you get paid for it. I think free food, travel, and then on top of that, getting paid for it is a separate pleasure. And that's like a golden button for you if while surviving. If you have done that, hats off to you, bro. Hats off to you.
So this gave me very good platform, and then that in those days I was uh, I mean I could say only few vegetarian bloggers existed, and I was one among them. So that gave me another edge.
Amazing. Yeah.
So apart from writing reviews in Zomato, I also used to post it in various Facebook groups.
Oh, interesting.
And yeah, and that gave me a kind of platform to like express my views, and also I had become quite popular. I am known for I am known
So
for writing
possibly, I
descriptive reviews.
became popular. Okay,
No,
yeah.
in these times, not many write descriptive reviews. People just try to, just say this is good in
Hashtag
one
filter
day.
coffee.
Exactly. So,
That's what.
yeah, in this, it's not very uncommon to write in a big way.
Yeah.
And for those who do not know, even my co-host is a food blogger, and her article was actually trending a couple of weeks ago, or just a few weeks ago, I think. If I'm not, if you can correct me if I'm wrong.
A week ago, yeah.
So, with two food bloggers next to me, I would just like to say that food blogging is something I have not explored despite being a blogger, because I've just enjoyed the eating food, nothing more than
Yeah.
that.
And he enjoys eating food, and then every night he calls up and he also enjoys making others feel guilty about not eating that food. That's what he does.
This is what the
I
mention
I
left me,
can
and I agree.
Yes, Lokesh.
I I can feel it because I receive numerous calls, and whenever I meet people, everyone are like, "भाई मस्त जिंदगी है तेरी, इतना सारा खाना खा क्या कर लेता है तू?" First question.
That's interesting.
Yeah, so now if we move on to the next segment, that is basically about food blogging experience. So since you started off with your Zomato journey and all, and then you started uh, writing about it professionally, and you also go to different restaurants in Hyderabad, and I think you've gone into other cities as well.
Mhm.
So
Yep.
you've got a lot of experience in food blogging. So how do you think it has been earlier when you started off? And उसके बाद after in the last few years, how has it changed? Because I think people are starting to use Instagram just to take some picture of a nice HD picture of a food item, and just stop writing anything. You'll just put one picture and then the whole thing is hashtag, and that's not even a
True.
blog. So
True.
how do you think
True.
it is? So that is we would like to hear from you on that, because we'd be interested
Yeah.
to.
So since I've told you that when I started, I have always been expressive about it. So my whole idea of reviewing a place is that I should describe the place in like such a way that it should give a kind of visual appeal,
Yeah.
visual feel to the people reading it. He or she should be able to feel the place through my eyes, or like through my content,
Amazing.
to the words what I'm writing, be it the ambience or the food or the service, everything. So that gave me a kind of motivation to write.
Yes.
And and then like starting from Zomato reviews to the food groups and then to having my own blog, I had a kind of interesting journey because at every place, at like every point of time, it gave me more and more reason to be more descriptive and be expressive about it.
Very
See,
interesting.
when food blogging is all about, should be able to describe the food in such a way that people should be able to understand the flavor
Yeah.
reading that. Yeah.
Absolutely.
See, I I say that food is very subjective. Okay. So what I like might not be liked by Pawan, and like what maybe Lafreet loves it, maybe Pawan and I don't enjoy it. Right. So it doesn't mean that the food is bad.
We just have different
So
taste. Yeah.
correct. So when it comes to writing, we should, kind of describe the food, describe about the flavors, the way it is being cooked, and the way it is served.
Okay.
So maybe a few people might like the way it is being made, and that is how it will be liked by them.
Of course. Yeah. If that's the case, Lokendra, if you're like you are so particular about how it tastes and how it's made, I think you should definitely give a visit to Punjab because there are many parts in Punjab, especially Amritsar, where you're gonna have a gala time, tasting food and telling us what you like about it, and it's really fun. Have you ever tried out Lokendra street food and testing out small shops and stalls and then making a review about it? Just a curiosity question.
Oh yes, I did. Uh, Last year, I had opportunity to travel to Delhi, Rishikesh, Haridwar, Mussoorie, and Lucknow. So, so the whole purpose of my trip is to go and taste the street food over there. No
Okay.
fancy food, no fine dining. It's just the raw uh, and the desi street food.
Amazing, amazing. That's
And believe me, it was a once in a lifetime experience. I got to know that how typical cuisine is affected by the city.
amazing. Yeah,
Uh,
I think Lakvit, he has taken us through just by mentioning Haridwar and you have
yeah.
mentioned Amritsar. He has taken us through a visual. I was just imagining all these places in front of
Yeah.
flash through my mind, and that's a very fascinating experience. And that actually makes me wonder if I can start off writing about foods and food items, food blogging myself. But let's leave it for another day. That said, I would just like to ask Lokendra. So, like this has been the journey so far, and we have talked about how it has all changed. And could you just give us one glimpse of as to how food blogging has changed? Because I think we've not covered that. You can just talk about how it has changed in the last few months and years, in your perspective.
yeah, certainly, there's a kind of paradigm shift that has been happened in the food blogging scene. Starting from the Zomato reviews to the detailed reviews to having your own blog, and now it has finally ended up in a picture. You know, as you have told, I mean, take a nice HD picture, post it on Instagram, add some 5 7 hashtags, and you are done with it. So,
That is so
So
true. That
true.
is so
That's
true.
so true.
This reminds me of
I really like
yeah,
Pavan
yeah.
how Lokendra is like very out there, straightforward, like with his answers, very simplistic. And maybe that's the effect of how he has been trying out different food items in different places. By the way, Lokendra, when you go out to try these food items, I mean, when people invite
mhm.
you, right, and they call you for tasting, or you go out to explore by yourself, do you also
Mhm.
like enjoy the diversity, the cultural diversity that you witness there? And I mean, do you also like connecting with people like that and understanding their recipes and then trying it out at home?
Yes, yes. Oh, I do that. There was one instance. I have always disliked chole ki sabji, the chole what we eat with the chole bhatura, because
Oh,
because it was not the way it has to be cooked. And wherever I had, I mean, like mostly I used to have it in my home, and it was nowhere in terms of uh, authenticity, how it is presented in Delhi or like Amritsar.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it gave me a kind of sense that, uh, just because it is not cooked the way as it is supposed to be, obviously you will not be able to enjoy the actual taste of it. And then after eating the authentic one, and after then coming back home and then uh, googling about the recipes and the YouTube, and then I ended up making, and then everyone in my family enjoyed to it.
Wow.
So it's like all about every dish has its like creative recipe, authentic recipe, which uh, which if you like follow that, then only we'll be able to get the actual taste and the actual essence of that particular dish.
Very true. Very true. Pawan, you wanted to ask?
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah. So since in the current times, there's a lot of emphasis being put on healthy food and healthy food items, and how we've always been seeing in the news somehow some popular food outlets are also in the soup for not what do you say, not following safety norms, not following all the safety necessary, and not using the right material, all that. So how important is it to have a focus on health-wise healthy food, and how do we identify that? And so this is the first part of the question. The second part is, if we want to start food blogging or not. So if there are people out there who want to explore this field, how would they start identifying which is healthy? And then I would also ask you, how would you expect them to identify a dish and how it's tasted and how it is? That you can walk us through that process. How do you check out a restaurant, and how do you try to identify what is the best dish there and how they prepare it? Is it healthy or not? And that is the thing. So over to you.
Sure. Yeah. So healthy food is for sure catching up on the trend at the moment, because more and more people are kind of being educated thanks to the social media. So people have now finally started to think about what they're eating, and they are also trying hard to have at least one meal in a day, uh, which like gives them the nutrients whatever is required by the body. So similarly, restaurant owners have also understood this fact, and there are many categories of restaurants which are actually taking good steps to like come up with such healthy ventures. So it's like right from the pocket friendly ones to the fine dining ones. We in fact have at least couple of options in like each city for healthy food. So people are now ditching like maida, what we call as the refined flour, uh, with the actual wheat flour.
Yeah.
And instead of using sugar, they are trying to use the jaggery powder.
Right.
And yeah, and then instead of frying, they are like trying to go the kind of bake and then the tandoori stuff.
Of
So
course.
people are definitely educated and like more informed now.
Yeah, we see that from the food trends also, because earlier, people really, me being a North Indian, especially from Punjab, although I've like traveled to different cities all my life, but when I came to Punjab, I literally saw people having, loads of makhan on parantha every morning, or having like drenched in oil bhaturas and drenched in oil rotis, and I'm like, what are you even eating? I was the one who would probably enjoy idli, or who would probably enjoy max to max kanda poha or something like that. I was that kind of a person, and people here literally putting
A
extra makhan.
Punjabi enjoying idli, a Punjabi enjoying idli shows national integration for the North India.
No. When I came
Every
here,
South Indian listening.
yeah, I stayed in
Yeah.
Hyderabad. That's why I had special love for
Okay.
South Indian food.
Okay.
But then I came here and I
Uh,
saw already cooked in oil paranthas, and they put extra makhan on it. Is there any scope left for fats to add there, and how much? I was totally surprised. And now people are switching to oats and healthier options
Yes.
eventually. And I really see a lot of shift happening, at least in the last 3 to 4 years. And people nowadays, they are stressing on intermittent fasting, eating lighter food, eating healthier options for everything,
True.
alternates for everything. But still, when it comes to collecting junk, I mean, when you want to eat junk and you actually want to ditch your diet, street food is probably, I think, according to me, the best sort of food that you should go for. And sometimes those oil loaded and drenched paranthas seem tasty for sure. They are like actually tasty. That is
True that. Uh, Actually, the ingredients are also available these days. The
yeah.
sort
Oh,
of healthy ingredients, if you talk about oats, millet,
yeah.
which was kind of a rare thing earlier. So people now have
Yeah.
that liberty to like order online or to go and pick it from the shelf, and they are more into
Yeah.
experimenting with the healthy recipe. So I feel that
Yeah. Lokesh, I mean, adding to this, I just got reminded of something. Nowadays we are also able to, like you were surprised at the fact how I enjoy South Indian food, right? So even though I shifted from South 4 years ago, even today, if you
Mhm.
remember, that 5 555 sambar masala dabbi is there with which we make masala usually, sambar usually. So because of the availability of things across the country, it's very easier to try out cuisines from other states and from other, like what people otherwise eat, right? So we can make litti
Of course,
chokha at home now, we can make idlis and sambar at
absolutely,
home, and you guys can actually make
absolutely,
paranthas because there is availability of material. It's no more restricted to just our state or your state. But I think that authenticity,
yes.
of course, comes from the particular state where the origin is. That is for sure.
Yes, for I mean, on like that note as well. Earlier, if you remember, kiwi as a fruit, it was a kind of luxurious fruit for us. Like 4 years, 5 years back. I am like not even going 8, 10 years, but even before 4 to 5 years, it was a luxurious thing.
Yeah.
But now, if you see, the kiwis are available across uh, every city and like across all the seasons,
Yeah.
and that too at very affordable price.
Yes.
And that is because I think the cultivation is happening over years, and that is why it is helping, to reduce to like in the direction of the cost and all.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to ask you one question, just a very brief question. So, since you have been to a lot of
Mhm.
restaurants and you've tried to analyze how the food is prepared and all, what is the perception that you first got when you went to first, when you were invited to restaurant? Before that, how was it? And after being invited to taste, some proper dishes by the owners themselves, what was the contrast? How did you feel?
So, like since I'm like always excited when it comes to food. So whenever I'm invited to a place and if I get some time, I always try to Google about it, see what is the cuisine that they are serving, have a look at the menu, and then go with an open mind. I don't try to, compare the food with its authenticity. I just try to see what are the flavors, and I just want to describe the flavors in my blog.
Wow.
So obviously, after going over there and with the kind of attention what we are given, certainly it like makes us feel not less than celebrity, and that we get to taste all different types of food.
Yeah.
And more than that, it is the kind of the interaction what we have with the owner and with the chef, because that help us to understand and give us an idea about the whole thing, about the
Hmm.
whole concept that what they are trying to give as experience to the end user.
Of
So
course.
that is one of the most interesting thing that I believe uh, what food blogging has given to me.
And
Food,
adding,
you can anyhow, yeah,
please
it's like
continue.
food you can anyhow go with your family, with your friends, eat it out and then come. But then understanding the essence behind it, that is what give me a kick.
Amazing. I think all of us, we go with a very, all of us have this problem. I don't know if it's just me or actually everybody. If we like something somewhere, we sort of make that the go-to place, right? This is a
Yes.
problem with me. So
Yes.
I'll eat that particular thing in that particular restaurant all the time, and I probably would feel scared to try it out somewhere else, or I'll be very judgmental. We don't go as a customer, you don't go with a very open mind. You play safe that okay, I have to spend 500, 600 bucks. I should not
Yes.
risk that because as a
Yes.
hostler, we only had that much. And we would be like, no, 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 there is no point wasting that money and going to some random restaurant. Then if it tastes like it tastes horrible, then we'll be crying. So we'll go to the same place and eat the same
So
thing. I mean,
yeah.
it's really unique how you said that you go with an open mind and then you don't
Uh,
judge it. Yeah.
True. I have come across this problem, more often than like I going out and reviewing the restaurant.
Oh,
So the main problem with everyone is that people are a bit conservative.
yes.
So what I
Of course.
suggest them is to be experimenting with food. You will
Absolutely.
never know what you
Absolutely.
may end up liking it. Okay.
Absolutely.
So for that, what I suggest them is, thanks to this Zomato 1+1 and another various offers being provided by, a Dine Out and a Governor Passport, and then we have another set of whole this kind of deal things going on. So I tell them, take a kind of calculated risk.
Yeah.
If you want to try something, and if that particular experience is available at a discounted price, then then I mean, you should not think twice
For
before going
sure.
for it.
For sure.
And and then even after going for it, for example, if you want to avail the Zomato 1+1 offer, which means that you for two dishes order you would be billed only for one. So I suggest them, order one safe dish, okay, which you like always like it, and something which is kind of filling, and then experiment it with the another dish. Now, by any chance, if you don't like the dish, or if it is not as per your expectation,
You never paid for
still
it.
you won't be feeling bad. Point number one, it is coming for free. Point number two, you are already 50% stuffed with the dish number one, which you already ordered. So
Amazing.
this, gives a more room for experimentation.
Of course. Of course. This is
Harpreet, did we ever even think in these terms?
That's what I'm like literally shocked at this moment because all my life I've been stuck to this one restaurant for one particular thing. And I've always been cursed by my parents for this. Like, why don't you try out something new for God's sake? How do you keep eating the same thing every 2 days, every 2 days? And I'm like, I like it. And by the time there's a certain time till when you like it. After that, you literally hate it to the core that you don't want to see that dish. Right? That's a problem with a lot of people around me, and I hope this suggestion really helps us. To we should be trying out more things, and trying out makes a lot of sense. In the way that you get a lot of experience, and sometimes these experiences give you like lifelong, give you memories to laugh on. I remember on my birthday,
Of course, of course.
I did this experience. I mean, I was like, it's my birthday. Let's try out something new. And I decided to take my friends to a place which we never went before. And I mean, honestly, the food was, I can't even tell how horrible it was, but then it was horrible. And I had spent
I can feel you.
yeah, quite a lot of bucks already. So my pocket money for 1 month was gone. And I was like, congratulations, we are going back to the room and cooking Maggie and eating them. Amazing. But I remember
That is what happens. I can understand the pain, and it like always happens with my friends. And sometimes, I am kind of bit tense to recommend it to my friends. They like always want to try something new, and then they come to me asking for a recommendation. And whatever dish I recommend, and if it doesn't come out as per
they'll
their
kill you.
expectations, I am literally gone. They like start calling me and bashing me up. So,
For sure.
I like end up asking them questions like, what type of food you would like to have? What is the one flavor that you like? And then I see, okay, this flavor I can map it to that dish, and that might be, kind of likable by him. And then, okay, let's suggest him that particular restaurant
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
dish to him.
That reminds me, I was in Pune for 3 years for my studies and all. So Maharashtrian dishes, Maharashtrian cuisine is something that blew me away. I was always in South and I was enjoying Hyderabadi food.
Hmm.
People, folks who do not know Hyderabadi food, there's a fantastic place called Gokul Chat, which I often go to.
Don't
Places
remind me
like
of that,
these are always
Pavan.
there.
I'm not there right now.
Places like those I would always frequent. But then when I went to Pune, there was a wide range of options available, and each was actually healthy. It's not just that they don't have any, it's not that they don't follow any set, but the Maharashtrian cuisine was so good that I was actually ending up discovering new places every weekend, and I turned out that the food was actually good there, and contrary to my perception that
Yeah.
Maharashtrian food is just a few, shrikand, a lot of just a few dishes. And that wide range of cuisine gave me a lot of enthusiasm to check out new places there and know about more what the interior Maharashtrian cuisine is like. And this opportunity was really interesting because and that actually opened up my taste buds also because I was not very keen on eating certain things earlier. So it opened up my taste buds. So we have to actually experiment, as Lokinda told us. We have to experiment with new places, and we can't just stick with one place. So that's the whole point there.
I think
And
adding to this,
one,
Pavan, if you are ever going to Maharashtra or Mumbai, I've lived there personally, and dabeli is one underrated thing. It's almost like pav bhaji, but very, very tasty. I still remember the taste of it. I mean, it's been 6 years. I ate that for the last time, dabeli. 7 years actually. And if I remember it, I
Mhm.
still taste it in my mouth. It's so tasty. Oh my God. And you have to try it out. Like in Aurangabad, I used to eat it in Aurangabad and it was yum. Yum.
Yeah,
Just because
it
Pawan reminded.
it has that peculiar flavor of both sweetness and the spiciness, and
yeah,
that gives a new dimension to dabeli, and that is why many people like it. It's like you have to develop a taste bud for a few items.
Yeah.
For instance, I never liked burger until like 2 to 3 years of my career as a food blogger, or maybe when I used to eat out.
Oh,
So
okay.
it took me some time, to like understand and then appreciate the flavor.
Yeah, of course.
Leave that. Maybe you guys did you try sushi anytime?
He's asking you, Pawan, and me.
I
I
don't
never
think
tried.
I don't think I have.
Both of you.
No. How
Believe
to eat
me,
that
the
with chopsticks?
first time when you guys are going to try sushi, you would almost puke.
Yeah, I've heard of that. It's steamed, it's
Yeah.
weird. It's like unboiled rice or something. Weird sort of a cook.
Yes. No, it's kind of boiled rice, but the flavor is very, very, very peculiar. Something which which we are like not used to it. It's strong, it's pungent, it's sweet. It's a kind of mix of all the flavors.
God.
So, so that sushi is one of those dishes which you need some I mean like certain number of times to try out that dish
Mhm.
before you start appreciating the flavors.
Nice. That's actually nice. I think
Same,
listening to you feels like even food blogging, whatever you're doing, both the things. This is also a very challenging profession by itself because you got to taste stuff which you are not liking as you look at it, and
yeah.
you're not sure how it will taste, and even after tasting, you don't like it, and you have to actually react like, "Oh, that's good. Yeah, I'm understanding the flavors," while you don't know what's going on in your mouth. I mean, this is pretty much a
It so
challenging
happens.
job. Yeah.
It so happens. And then
Yeah.
most of the time goes in clicking the photograph, and that makes the dish cold. Sometimes the dish is like disintegrated and it doesn't even give the taste what it is supposed to be. And then I being a kind of bit responsible, I ensure, not to waste the food. I always, try not to order one more portion of it just because it is cold, or maybe just because it is not
Yeah.
actually in the way it is supposed to be.
That's a big message. Look, Indriji, big message. All of us need to understand this. Very nice.
Thank you.
And coming to the final segment of this episode, so since we have spoken so much, and this is such an interesting episode because
It's a
food we can talk
mouth-watering
about.
episode.
Exactly, we can always talk about dabeli, we can talk about biryani, we can talk about a lot of things. But the common thing that connects all of us in this podcast is all of us are from Hyderabad. At least Lakshmi has been in Hyderabad for 2 years and he has been to a lot of places there. So I would just like to ask, so this is a Hyderabadi question. Okay, Okay, so since a lot of, what I would say, there's a lot of restaurants in Hyderabad. So, what is your favorite? What are your favorite restaurants in Hyderabad? And
Mhm.
what are your favorite dishes among the Hyderabadi cuisine? Whatever you get in Hyderabad, of course. For those who do not know, biryani is not the only dish in Hyderabad. Okay, there's a lot more. So, what are those dishes which you like personally? What are the favorite restaurants that you have been to?
That's a challenging question for me because as a food blogger, I never discriminate between any food item and also for like any outlet or the restaurant. I appreciate and enjoy all kinds of food and from like all kinds of restaurants because every dish has its own story and every dish has got its own different kind of a flavor.
Pavan,
But I'm
But
sure there
still,
will be some one of the.
your trick question for planning for our trip in the next year, flop ho gaya.
Lakshmi, I think you have been in Hyderabad also. I think you should remember some of the restaurants or at least the best dishes that you have had. So because that is something we have to discuss as we come
But
to
yeah,
close of
there's
this.
this, I don't remember the name, sorry for my bad memory, but there was this restaurant, Chinese restaurant near Hussain Sagar. I'm sure, Lokendraji, you must be knowing, like a typical Chinese restaurant where they serve food in the Chinese format with chopsticks and stuff. It had a beautiful, vibe to it. That place,
okay.
and I remember ordering the same damn thing every time I went there, and every time means twice or thrice in the week, at least in my last year. And I was like, every time I would place that same, in those days, I used to eat a little bit of non-veg. So I used to give
Okay.
the same order every single time, like every single time. And
That's what we
yeah. And Gokul
that's
Chaat,
what we become.
yeah, you continue first.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we become very much comfortable with some particular dish that we end up ordering the same thing over and over without giving much thought to experiment with other cuisine.
Yeah, and then Gokul Chaat was one place which is obviously the go-to place for chaat. And then there used to be
Yeah,
another very,
Hello.
I never got the typical Golgappas, North Indian Golgappas in Hyderabad until I explored
Mm-hmm.
Agra sweets in, I think, High Tech City or somewhere, High Tech City or this what is that after High Tech City, Pavan?
I
Gachibowli,
don't
Kondapur,
know.
No, like the posh area
There's a
of
lot.
Hyderabad. What is that area called?
Jubilee Hills.
Jubilee Hills,
Jubilee
yeah.
Hills.
On this way, on the road itself, in the left side, we have Agra Sweets. And the Pani
Mm-hmm.
Puri in Agra Sweets, if you're living in Hyderabad and you're craving for North Indian Pani Puri, that's the place where you should be going. That's what I remember. Then Himayat Nagar, there used to be cream stones for ice cream. I mean, amazing.
It's
Amazing.
not just Creamstone. There's a lot of places in Himat
Lot
Nagar,
of
and
places.
there are a lot of other places. So next
Yeah,
time,
I was there
no,
in 11th and 12th, guys, which was like the most studious years in anybody's life. So we were all
Crucial year for
yeah.
for
I didn't
anyone's life.
and I didn't have Pavan and Samir and all my friends at that point of time to roam around like that. So we were very obedient students. We didn't we didn't literally move on streets like that. I didn't get to explore the street food of Hyderabad, which I have heard about, which is really really amazing, especially in Old City and
Correct.
this Gachibowli area, High Tech City area.
Correct.
What is
so there's
happening?
Old
a
City
yeah. Go ahead.
Old,
Yeah.
Old City is like mostly known for the South Indian joints,
Yeah.
for the idli and dosa.
Wow.
So the area Begum Bazaar, have like at least 7 to 10 outlets which serve some really, I mean, lift packing masala dosas,
Uh-huh.
butter dosas, and then the other variants. So my favorite place for the South Indian food would be Ram Bharose Bhatted Ki Idli. It's also known as Bhatted Ki Idli. And the specialty about that place is the idli you keep in your mouth and then it melts.
Wow.
You don't even have to take a bite. Yeah. And I can also really vouch on the quality because I have been noticing those guys since since a lot many years now, and I know where do they get the raw materials from. So the quality is absolutely top notch when it comes to the South Indian tiffin. I mean, into the category of tiffin centers. So they really have got some good varieties of dosas as well. And I think they were the ones to also introduce the authentic pizza dosa.
Oh.
Pizza dosa. Wow.
Yes, yes, yes. In Hyderabad, there is a lot of in the current last few years. I think there's been this trend to have dosa with a lot of other combinations. It's not just one dosa, rawa dosa, masala
Wow.
dosa.
It's
There's a
almost
lot
like
of combinations now.
analogous
And
to this. There is this pani puri trend in North India. Like whatever guava pani puri.
We do have pani puri dosa as well.
Oh my goodness! How do you even make it?
It is served. It is served cut into the pieces, into the bite size pani puri bite size, and then it is topped with the pani puri masala. So that feels like you are
Very
eating a pani
intelligent.
puri.
I think it's not just this trend. So with this kind of trend happening and shift happening from just normal dishes to making all sorts of combinations.
Yeah.
There's a popular eatery called Ramki Bandi in Hyderabad. So we started this trend of putting up, small stalls, and such stalls came into the limelight, not because they were roadside stalls and all, because people did not have an option at night time because most other hotels would be closed after a certain point of time. So this kind of trend has started,
Yeah.
and it has its own positives and negatives, because some might be overrated, some might not be really healthy in terms of fresh food. So this food journey is always going to be something everybody has to put their own mind and decide
Yeah.
what to do, what to take and what not. And
But
that reminds me to mention about the favorite places I have been to. It's just two places which I often go to and try out different dishes, because no, I don't try the same dishes often. So there's one called Taza Kitchen, which is in Madhapur, and
Yeah.
this serves proper food, and it's not even, it looks like as if it's an open area, but it's actually rather well made. And if those who are from Bangalore are listening to this, you can get your best type of Bangalorean food in Taza Kitchen. And the second place is, of course, Gokul Chat. Okay, right? If one is in Hyderabad, they can't live without going to Gokul Chat. So these two places give a lot of
I'm
this food
crying
vibe.
now. I'm crying. But I
So
And
think
the
that,
that's
Hyderabad,
wonderful. Yeah. I think
yeah,
these little cafes are also up these days, and there's like a lot of fusion food going on. This trend is going on, and we have a lot of snack options nowadays. Earlier when we used to go out with our families as kids, we always used to have proper food, sabzi, dal, roti, or at least some filling sort of a meal. Nowadays, there's this small snack items coming up, and so much fusion happening. There's like different sorts of British dishes being brought here with little changes, right? And there are so many dishes from Europe that are being got here with some modifications, giving it the Indian touch and Indian tadka or whatever you can call it, which is interesting. But I think that way we don't get to taste the authentic food, right? So, Lokendra, when you're eating something, you're testing something. Um, we've already talked about how you are very open-minded about it, but how do you judge, if this is the right kind of paneer which should be there, or this ingredient that they're using is probably the most authentic ingredient that they can use, because paneer taste also varies from place to place. I've personally experienced this
it does.
because of the milk, obviously, because then again everything, that's a cycle. So how do you make a clear mind, and when you're presenting to your audience, you can't even present your judgment, you're presenting just the pure taste of it, right? So how do you understand all of that? I mean, okay, this is the right kind of paneer, or this is the right kind of whatever ingredient is being used.
See, I'll continue this with again a paneer example as well. So if there is one paneer curry which each one of us might have tried in their life, is
Okay.
is like absolutely paneer butter masala. But each and every chef and each and every place have their own way of making it.
Hmm.
The one what we eat in Hyderabad, maybe in like Santosh Dhaba, which is the most famous go-to place for like any Marwadi, and those guys make it spicy. But now, if you talk about the authenticity, the actual paneer butter masala is supposed to be a bit, not really sharp, but maybe a kind of a bit sourness to it.
Uh-huh. Right.
There is there, there there is creaminess in the gravy, and there is like a slight tanginess coming from the tomato.
Amazing.
Okay, but now if you compare these two dishes from two different places, it would be absolutely different.
Yeah.
So in that way, one has to give an explanation that maybe the gravy was was different. Maybe the gravy at like one place was made up of more of cream and tomato, which had that creaminess and tanginess. And maybe at like one place, and the gravy was made up of onion and maybe of dry fruit, which was giving a good texture to it, and was kind of you mean uh, bit spicy, and also it is like kind of rendering a nutty taste to it. So this is
Wow.
how one should be able to differentiate and then like describe these two dishes what they're having at two different places.
Amazing. That's so much of observation being put in. By the way, I have a small news, Pawan. You'll be surprised, and I'm surprised. I just got a message from one of the blogging communities that I work with. The author of the year award goes to Lovepreet, and let's see what they've given me as the prize. We are giving her an appreciation certificate and 6 months of Zomato Gold membership.
Wow.
Since we are talking about food, what
Very timely. Timing is really on point.
that's why I just showed this in the episode itself. I mean, food can make you so happy, guys. I mean, food can do miracles with you. In your worst moods, if you have
Of
food,
course.
you're good to go. In your happiest moods, you celebrate with food. Something that is very common with in all of us, and it connects us together. I think it's food. Even though our choices might be very, very different, you might not like what I like, just like Lokendra said. But then again, this is the common thing. You know, you're sitting in a boring meeting and you'll be like, hey guys, we are just bored, let's go for maybe a quick chai break and a bun maska and chai break or something, just go for a dinner together. I think everybody gets up and walks with you even though you had a bad day in the office, right? That's how food
True.
brings happiness, and it connects all of us so well. And given that it's the season of celebration, we have finally overcome 2020 and we're in 2021 and hoping for the year to be so amazing. I think it's worth to spend it with food, your family, and your friends. Lokendra,
Nothing like,
yeah,
yeah.
yes, please
I mean,
continue.
like nothing like food to bring closer people.
Of course. And I think with foodies like Lokendra, I think Lokendra, this was the first time we ever talked about food, which is something so
Okay.
close to our hearts and something that excites us. Look at our faces. We're like so excited about it. And
I'm
it makes
really hungry now.
And we are so happy you came over, you shared your story with us, you shared your experiences with us. It was a fun episode. We have never had so much fun recording something like this. Very wonderful. I'll just ask you to give a closing remark. Maybe. A lot of disturbance on Lokendra's end, right? If you could just give us a closing remark, a message for the people who are listening to you, and something you want to close with.
The only thing what I would like to tell everyone is uh, always be experimenting with food. Don't stick to one particular favorite dish or cuisine of yours.
Yeah.
Go out and try as much as different food you can, because life is short and there is lot types of food to be tasted and to be enjoyed.
Amazing. That's the best message, guys. I mean, we on CD Path do try to give you, morals and values and messages through every episode. And this sort of a message is something we all look up to, right? We want to hear this kind of messages. Lokendra ji, if you could just mute yourself for a moment. Great, thank you. So this kind of a message is something we all look forward to. We want to hear these kind of messages from people that keep eating, keep experimenting. Nobody says us that. People say, okay, be positive, keep studying, keep working for your career. For a change, we are giving you an advice to keep eating and keep experimenting with different sorts of food items. And Lokendra ji was a very interesting personality. The moment we got to know about him, and ever since we are talking to him about the recording, it's been so much fun, and he's very lively, very active. Given that he works as a professional and side by side he has passion for food, we could immediately connect with him because Pawan and I, both of us are like absolute foodies, and both of us are also having a separate, very serious sort of a profession. So it makes a lot of sense for us, and to see him managing both of them so well, I think it's an inspiration for us as well, Pawan, because we always get stuck in our routines and we think okay, let's ditch, going out with our friends today, or maybe let's ditch a good dinner. I'm very tired, I need to sleep. But giving yourself a priority and making yourself good food is sort of a good way of pampering yourself and showing some self love towards you, right? So I think we have taken great lesson from this episode. Not to forget, don't waste food, guys. There are so many people who don't get the food that we enjoy. They don't have a lot of privileges, right? They are hungry. They get so many diseases because they are hungry. I think what we can do is, the first step would be to save food, and the second step would be probably whatever is left over, we can distribute it among people, or we can always feed animals. It'll be wrong to just throw it off like that. If you have the privilege, you got to share it, or you got to save it and protect it, right? So that's the thing we have taken forward from here. Lokendra ji, you were an absolutely amazing personality to talk to. We had amazing fun recording with you. It's the New Year's Eve today, and Pawan is waiting to join his friends for the New Year's party, and still he's here like an obedient child, listening to Lokendraji, because we are so engrossed in this and we don't want to stop this episode, but we have to end it, guys. We really hope you got to enjoy many different sorts of recipes in 2021. And we hope your family, your friends, everyone stay safe. Lokendraji, we are looking forward to meet you very soon in Hyderabad, and I really hope you can do a review with us as well.
Same here. Even I'm looking forward to meet you guys.
Amazing. This time's Hyderabad trip is going to be rocking, because we'll have a person to guide us where to go, when to go, how to go, everything. And you guys also get in touch with Lokendra. Check out his blog. Lokendra ji, you can, we'll attach your blog link in the description box. And if anyone approaches you for advices of food, you'll give, right? You'll give to them. Lokendra ji, do we have you? Okay, maybe there's some internet problem, but yes, he'll be there. He made a deal with us already, so you guys can get in touch with him to know more about food blogging. Those who are very fond of food blogging, or are looking towards a career in food blogging, you can also get in touch with him and check out his blogging page. He is a very fun person to be with and to communicate with. Very easy to approach precisely. So yes, until then, just take care, guys. Wish you all a very happy New Year. Lokendra ji, happy New Year to you and your family. I hope you get to. You are muted, Lokendra ji. Yeah.
Thank you, and same to you.
Thank you. I hope you get to enjoy a lot of recipes from different states also. Lokendra ji, I invite you to Punjab, by the way. You'll get a lot of different flavors here
Sure.
as well.
It's already in my wish list.
Fabulous. Okay, great. Okay, guys, so we'll catch you up in the next episode. We hope you're enjoying the New Year series. Drop down your comments what you feel about it. If there's any point in the video where you related, where you could say like, oh god, this happens with me, then just comment down below and connect with us individually, personally, however you want to. And we will look forward to your messages. We'll look forward to you guys connecting with us further. Anybody who wants to share their experiences are also welcome to speak on CD Path. Like the video, share it with your foodie friends, and subscribe to our channel for more such videos. We'll catch up with you very soon. Wish you all a very happy new year and lots of love from CD Bath. Bye bye, guys.
Bye.